Good evening, BookTube, YouTube, the world of humanity. I thought since I'm alone tonight, my wife went to a women's Bible study at her church, Covenant PCA, here in Holland, Michigan, and I am just relaxing. I've been reading this evening Memoirs of a Revolutionary by Victor Serge. I'm really enjoying this book. It's probably one of the best things I've read in a long time. It's nonfiction. It's a memoir. It says here in the back, Victor Serge is one of the great men of the 20th century and one of the great writers too. He was an anarchist, an agitator, a revolutionary, an exile, a historian of his times, as well as a brilliant novelist. And in Memoirs of a Revolutionary, he devotes all his passion and genius to describing this extraordinary and exemplary career. Serge tells of his upbringing among exiles and conspirators, of his involvement with the notorious Bonnet gang, with his years in prison, of his role in the Russian Revolution, and of the revolution's collapse into despotism, and terror. Expelled from the Soviet Union, Serge went to Paris, where he evaded the KGB and the Nazis before fleeing to Mexico. Memoirs of a Revolutionary recounts a thrilling life on the front lines of history and includes vivid portraits of not only Trotsky, Lenin, and Stalin, but of countless other figures who struggled to remake the world. Peter Sedgwick's fine translation of a Memoirs of a Revolutionary was abridged when first published in 1963. This is the first edition in English to present the entirety of Serge's book. This is really a great book. I can't highly recommend it. Today is May the 8th, 2019. It is a Wednesday night. It is 17:18. It is 7 o'clock. It's 7:18 at night. And yeah, it's been a normal Wednesday for me. This morning I got up around 7 o'clock. My wife had gotten up at 5:30. She was reading her Bible. My wife has been, as far as devotions, I got my wife the Book Nook, the library used bookstore, a couple of weeks ago. I got this book for her reading in her morning when she reads through the Bible. This is called Message of the Old Testament, Promise Made by Mark Diver. He is senior pastor of Chapel Hill Baptist Church in Washington, D.C. So I got this for her. It cost me, I think, $2. And then I bought her, it came in the mail today. This is the Old Testament, the Message of the Old Testament. And my wife said she really enjoyed this, especially as she was reading through the Song of Solomon. And now she's going through Numbers, the book of Numbers in the Old Testament. And so I bought her this book, the second volume, The Message of the New Testament, Promise Kept. So you have the Message of the Old Testament, Promise Made. And then you have the Message of the New Testament, Promise Kept or Fulfilled by Mark Diver. This came in the mail this afternoon. I got this for my wife because she really enjoyed reading the one on the Old Testament. So now in the morning when she has her morning devotions, she can read both of these. And these are good things to have if you want a very basic overview of the entire scripture. Very practical, very devotional. It's good to have those. It's not technical, it's not academic, it's just written for lay people. So yeah, as far as I was reading Memoirs of a Revolutionary, then this morning we went to grocery shopping. We got home around 9, 10 in the morning. And then Carol wanted Josie over, our granddaughter who lives down the street, with our oldest son, Caleb, and his wife, Emily. And they have our 2 granddaughters, Josie Joy, who's going on 5, and Cora, who's now about 1 year old. Carol went down the street and brought Josie home over to make blueberry muffins and just to hang out together. And I read today, these are the books I read today. First I read Only Americans Burn in Hell by Jarett Kobek. And then I read The Light Years, a memoir by Chris Rush. And then I read some of The French Exit, a novel by Patrick DeWitt. And then I read White Essays by Bret, Easton, Ellis. And then I read some of my friends Emmanuel, Bove. And then I've been reading Memoirs of a Revolutionary by Serge. So I've been reading these books today. I didn't really go anywhere after we went grocery shopping. I wrote in my diary, I fed the birds, ate food, played with our grandchildren, and yeah, and the day went by. Nothing came in the mail. And tomorrow's a Thursday. Tomorrow I don't have anything planned. My wife plans to go visit a friend of hers, and the day will go by. So that's it. As far as my diary, I ended on page today for the year 2019. I ended on page 408 thus far for the year 2019. Like I said, it's May the 8th. It's a Wednesday night. It's 7:22 at night, and it was a cold, rainy, dreary day. Today is tulip, like I said, it's tulip time, and I feel bad for the tourists because it's been so cold and dreary and wet. But that's the way it is. I don't know why they have tulip time in May, because it's always better in June, the weather. But people get stuck in a certain kind of time zone, I suppose. So not much else going on today. Like I said, I'm really enjoying Memoirs of a Revolutionary by Serge. And like I said, I've been reading the notebooks of Serge. Also, I want to read one of his novels next, after I read the notebooks and the memoir. So I'll sign off. I just wanted to tell you what I've been reading today and what's going on. Thank you for the comments. I hope you're all doing well. And yeah, so I'll sign off and continue to look at my books and go into the nighttime hours. And tomorrow is a Thursday. So I hope you're having a good reading week and hope all is well. Till next time, bye.